Mem Vav Amid Beis, 46b. You see a person go out of a house with a kli underneath his arm, and he's claiming he's not a ganev. Says, I bought it. Ain't a nema. Not believed. Lo amaron, ela balabai sheino asui limkor kelim. We're talking about a balabais that normally doesn't sell his kelim. The balabais asui limkor kelim, the nema, the one who's walking out of the house with the kli and claims that he bought it, so we believe it. Now, if it's a balabai shein asui limkor kelim, nami lo amaron, ela dvarm shein darkan lahatmin. We're talking about kelim that you carry openly. And he's hiding it. So perhaps he's stealing. But that you carry secretly, and he's carrying it that way, then Neman by saying that he bought it. And things that are not normally hidden, a person who's not modest, and he carries a lot of things openly. But if he's carrying an item and he's hiding it, but he's a modest person, then we believe him if he says he bought it. The law Amaron that he's believed, Ella Zeomer Sheulin. The Balabai says, I lent it to him. The Zeomer Lekuchi says, I bought them. But to say that but Gnuvin, the Balabai is going to claim that he stole it at Lav Lo community because Lachzuki Inish Bekan V'Lo B'Chaskinim. We don't necessarily attribute to most people that they're Ganodim. So if the debate is between I lent it to you, bought it to you, that we understand. But not if he says he ganefed it, we don't believe the Balabais. That's Lo Amon El B'Dvar Masur La'achel Haskir. But that's talking about items that normally are loaned. But a diamond ring, right? Dvar Shein Asur La'achel Haskir. Then Neman, if he claims that the guy ganefed it. That things that normally are rented, and the Balabais is claiming I loaned it to him, rented him, and I want it back. The Omar, he says I bought it. Eino Neman. If it's an item that normally is rented, if the guy claims he bought it, then we don't believe him. Rava walked out of an estate of Yesomim with a pair of scissors and some kind of book. Actually, somebody had claimed that they had given it to the Yesomim, to the father. That the father had taken these items from somebody. And these were Dvar Masun Lashir Lahaskir. So Rava took him back because it's clear that it was just rented or loaned, but not bought. He said that if somebody was stolen from, he takes a shvuah and he keeps it. Right? Normally, we don't take a shvuah and take. We take a shvuah and we don't pay. We had certain exceptions where he takes a shvuah and he keeps it. So a nigzal, Amar Rava, somebody who was stolen from, Amar Rava, afilu shoymer, nishba. A shoymer who's given something also takes a shvuah. Afilu ishto shel shoymer nishbas, even the wife of the shoymer. Boy Rav Papa. What about schira v'lekito? Yeah. My. That teku. Armle Rav Yemel Ravashi. Tano bekasa de kaspa. Person comes into a balabai's home to take a piece of collateral like a silver goblet. We don't know what he took because they're hidden. My. Now, if we make this guy pay, is he forced to pay even for something this expensive? So we say chazina, inish to amid, if the Babais was a wealthy guy, or inish to mehemen, or an honestly guy. The mafkidi anshigabe, the people will be mafkid items with him. Then mishtabe v'shakil, he can take a shvu and keep it. But v'ilo, then lo. We don't allow him to take a shvu and keep the items that they were that he claims people left it to him. The nechbal ketza, we said, the person walked into a house, he was fine, and then he walked out and he was limping, and he claims that the guy in the house injured him, so he can take a shvu and he get paid for his damages. We believe him if he could. It's a place where he could injure himself. So then he has to take a shvuah that the other guy did it. Let's say between your shoulder blades. You can't reach between your shoulder blades. Then noitel shelo b'shvuah. He's allowed to take his damages without a shvuah. Maybe he scratched himself on the wall. Tani Rav Chia, he was, there's a bite between his shoulder blades. Maybe it was another person. There is no other person except that guy. So we can force a payment. Then we said, Amoida b'miktzas, right? Reuven loaned Shimon $1,000. And Shimon says, no, you lent me $500. So Shimon is a moide b'miktzas. He has to take a shvu and not pay. But we said, what if Shimon is a gambler and he's choshed on a shvua? So the shvua goes back to Reuven, and Reuven takes the shvua and collects the 500. So how does it work that kishenegdo choshed? And for example, the other party had been found to be lying by shvuas edus or shvuas pikodin, and the Mishnah said even a shvuas shav, maya filu shvuas shav. That means loma boy kamer. It's a structure of not only this but this also. Loma boy halachti ispuhu kfiris moment. By shvuas edus or shvuas pikodin, there's a denial of money. But elafilu hanami, person says, I take a shvua that I saw a giraffe as tall as the Empire State Building. That's a shvur shav. Can't be. So there's no. It's nothing to do with money. First, dvarim ba'almahu. Still lo mehemet. Since he took a shvua falsely, we don't believe him in the future. The listening nami shvua is bitui. Why didn't we include? Person says, I take a shvua that I ate, that I will eat this loaf of bread, and he didn't eat it. That we didn't say is an example of shakronos. Why not? When he says, I take an oath I'm going to eat this loaf of bread today. Well, maybe he's going to eat it. Maybe he forgot later on. So it doesn't necessarily prove that he's a shakron. Fine. That's good for a shvu in the future. But when you take a shvu, I didn't eat yesterday a loaf of bread. Well, that happened. He's a liar. So Tana, okay, we're going to go to 47 now. Let's close and I'll call right back. Or Mario, can you stop it?